Howdy folks, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you like that little introduction video. A hero is needed to defend Fulda Castle, or War Thunder Castle. What do you want to call it? We are on the Fulda Gap again, with the KPZ-70, and unlike on the dev server, this is the live server. This is the live server? That was weird. So, we're going to try to use the same strategy as last time, and, unlike on the dev server, it's going to be all players. No AI. No pun intended. I'm with my squad mate, Engine 799, and we're going to hold down the fort and see what we can do. So at this point, I'm trying to rush over to the little hold down point, and I get beaten to it. Because I don't want to risk getting shot at as I'm climbing the stairs, I try to cap the zone and wait for the perfect time to climb up the stairs and get in my special spot on the roof. So here we are capturing the Zone C, and here comes our first customers. A Chieftain, Leo, and M47, the new German one. The I think it's the KPZ M47. It used to be called the MKPZ 47, but they changed that since the dev server. So I tried to get a shot on him, but he gets my cannon breach, and I have to fall back. Kanoe has an excellent shot on my breach, so I fire my 20mm to try to blur his vision, since I didn't want to waste smoke deployment. The 20mm does really good at deploying smoke. Once I repair my breach, I wait for him to come, he makes a mistake, and I come out, set him on fire, and get most of his crew, except what I think is the commander, a little blurred here. And look at that, I get a kill on him through the smoke. Very nice. So I'm getting reinforcements and the smoke is still a bit of an issue. I take a direct hit to the optic port and I don't die. Sweet. Firing my 20mm some more to try to get detection shots, but thankfully nobody is there. I hear a plane, so I decide to wait till I figure out it's a friendly. Then, once I realize the coast is clear, or at least it looks clear, apparently I can't knock down that little stone pillar. I can get around. And so I climb up the stairs and get into my special spot. There's Engine to my left. I am just loving the new Fulda Gap, and as you can see, the devs kept this in. You can still go on the roof. So I just changed my mind and decided I wanted to follow Engine to the other side of the stairs. So I reverse. He gets himself a tank. And then I see that he is on fire. So I decide to come down and help him. I figured the enemy would have been like somewhere right where that fountain is, but I couldn't get my gun low enough anyway, and Engine gets him too. So I come alongside him and help him repair, and then I try to climb up the stairs. This is the little interesting part. For some reason, the stairs on the eastern side are harder to climb than on the western side. I don't know if I just simply didn't get enough engine power to get up there, or if I just didn't accelerate quick enough, I don't know. But as you'll see here, I try to get up the stairs, and yeah, I end up slipping. So I just slide back down, go all the way up to the wall, and then accelerate again for a second try, and I get up there. And just out of curiosity, is there virtually anything wrong with the KPZ, or perhaps even the MBT-70? It's just such a dream to drive. It has the auto-loading 6-inch gun, 152 millimeters to be exact, 152.4, excuse me. It has Sabo, heat, smoke, and ATGMs. Not to mention, last but certainly not least, I mean, the 20 millimeter on top with its AP round, its AP and then HE, and excuse me, and its AP round can penetrate 45 millimeters of armor at 10 meters. So the 20 millimeter can penetrate SPAA and light tanks, or the sides of medium, or possibly the sides of heavy tanks, depending on the type of vehicle, of course. And of course, it's effective against aircraft. So awesome. Now here is a little blunder I made. I'm in the 163. I'm scouting out, as there's no enemy fighters yet. So I decide to strafe this little ZSU-57. I get a little cocky, come in a little too fast and close. I try to pull out, and yeah, that tree clipped my left wing, and I get into a death spin. But no biggie, because it's arcade. So I decide to check out here, and I see two medium tanks in the distance. First, there's Titres in the Centurion Mark 10. Very sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Sometimes it's hard to know how a name in the game is pronounced, because it varies from place to place. And then I encounter KJS 2412 in the Chieftain Mark 10. Very dangerous opponent. Of course, granted it is arcade and I could get the little green reticle, but he could have got me easily too, because his Sabo is more powerful than mine, even the non-fin stabilized one. At any rate, I am finally able to get him by repeatedly getting his lower plate and even his upper plate, as that is also weak to the Sabo. So at this point, just like on the dev server, I get into my little spot to peek out and see who's here, and it is Nico Lamid in the ZSU-57. And for some reason, I can't get my 20 millimeter low enough to get him. I slip down the stairs, and the T-55 happily gets him for me, which is very much appreciated. He accidentally blocks my way back up. So I'm just constantly looking around, making sure there's no enemies about to shoot me while I'm trying to climb up the stairs. I hear enemy 163. I didn't destroy any aircraft in this battle using the 20 millimeter, but I have had some success in other battles. At any rate, another thing I forgot to mention about the KPZ-70 is that it can also function as a mini SPAA. So you're worried about aircraft? Practice aim with the 20 millimeter, and chances are you can take care of those little CAS issue. I said that kind of weird. Don't got a shot on that Panther 2. So I decide to go left and get into another position, but then I see the F2 Saber. I try again with the 20 millimeter, and at first I thought I got it, but somebody else did. At the time I was like, hey, I got him! But when I saw that the aircraft destroyed message did not pop up, I was like, oh, okay. So far the score is good, with 3 tanks destroyed, 1 assist, and 2 capture points. Very nice. So I go into another aircraft, the 82 Sky Raider. Little fun fact, the 84 Sky Raider has been in the CDK for as long as, I don't remember what patch the 82 came out, but the patch after that, that's how long the AD4 has been in the CDK with no announcements or information as to whether or not it'll be added. Anyway, I get sent on fire. I see an 8RU. Boom. It's easy to forget how powerful those Tiny Tims are, especially since they've been buffed. Well, I don't know if they've been buffed, but in my opinion they have. Because they're pretty powerful. I mean, I blew myself up just from firing them at low altitude. Anyhow, ASU Hayes in his Leo A1A1 comes to town. He gets my commander, and I get his also. He climbs up the stairs, and I try to see if I could get another shot on him, and he does something very smart. I mean, very smart. He deploys his smoke, and he could have tried to flank me on the eastern side of the stairs, or try to come up the same way, I don't know. At any rate, I turn around to try to get him from the other side, and apparently, he had the same thing in mind, but later. RU-251 comes along, Cannoli, and he was a tough nut to crack. My 20mm is out of action, so I can't use that. For some reason, I couldn't get his little driver compartment, so I decided to load a missile. Well, not this time, but the second time I load a missile. And finally, that gets him. But yeah. And then I hear engine noise, and sure enough, ASU Hayes has come back for the action. I get a shot on his side armor, set him on fire. I believe I got his gunner. And of course I blunder a bit, because I'm still trying to get used to the Sabo. Tried a missile, that didn't work. Fire again. And finally, I get his driver. I have to admit, he did do very good, because I will admit, he did catch me off guard. Because I was just trying to go on to the other side to see where he was. Now, I don't know how he reloaded smoke that fast, unless they changed it. But at any rate, he was able to deploy smoke twice, which did blur me a bit, and I was still able to get it. So at this point in the match is almost pretty much wrapped up. And it was very fun. We have all the advantages now. We were losing, but now we got 2 out of 3 capture points. And so far, everything is looking nice and dandy. I go in the Sky Raider again. So one thing I like about Arcade is that you can spawn an aircraft multiple times, and thanks to the nerf in rockets, with the exception to the Tiny Tims, aircraft are still fun to play, but they're no longer that big of a threat, and SPAA can still handle them. I haven't checked, but I'm pretty sure that SPAA after Tier 3 in general are still mostly expensive. If they are, hopefully they will fix it. If it's cheaper, then wonderful. Again, I haven't really played SPAA since the patch, so I haven't checked what the average repair costs are. I will check after the narration, and if they're the same, I'll add a little annotation saying they are the same. If they're cheaper, then I'll correct that with the annotation as well. Another weird thing, from the aerial point of view, my little tricolor smoke, the orange looked like a greeny yellow from the air, but from my KPC's point of view, it looked correct. The gold, orange, and white. Engine saves me from that Panther 2, who might have easily gone up the stairs. And I couldn't tell if those bombs were on the stairs or not, but check this out. Engine, my bad, destroys the mouse, Shadowstorm 140, before the DO-335's bombs can't destroy it. Very sorry, Doe, but that does happen from time to time. Sorry, I didn't get a good look at your name, but you can see in the little battle log. So hopefully that'll be good enough. So at this point, I get up on the edge of the stairs and help capture the point for my third capture point. My third base streak. And to deviate a little bit, this was so awesome. Aerofighter 161 in the Key 200 is able to shoot down Mucho Caos in his Tu-14T. Tu-14 has the same rear 23mm as the IL-28, with more ammo, of course. So the fact that Aerofighter 161 in a Key 200, which doesn't have the best 30mm, at least compared to the MK108s, is still able to get the Tu-14T. Very impressive, in my opinion. So final score at this point is 3 capture points, 3 assists, and 6 tanks destroyed. And as for engine, 2 deaths. Oh, sorry, I didn't get a good look at that. 7 tanks destroyed, and I think 3 assists. Very nice game. And a little spoiler alert, I spend the last minute in this PY, or P1Y1 on 11. Little server lag here as I try to get it from the engine's point of view. But he gets himself a T-32, which sadly I don't think is shown on the camera. Looks like the T-32 is trying to blend in with the M60s. There's one of my, I think, 500 kilogram bombs. I'm not familiar with the Japanese bombs. Not sure if that was 250 kg or 500 kg. But at any rate, engine gets him before my bomb explodes, which is alright. And that's pretty much game. Hope you've enjoyed this little gameplay. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. And until next time, peace out.